Hello and welcome back to Black Dice Gaming. So this is a painting video. We're going to be painting up this ogre tyrant. Going to be doing the slap chop method. So we'll be using mainly speed paints and a couple of contrast paints. I've left the head separately because I'd like to do that on its own. But without further ado, let's get into our first colour. So the first colour we're going to be using tonight will be Crusader Skin. I do like the Army Painter colours, so using a lot of those. I only have the old set, I don't have the new ones as of yet, but hopefully working on that. So this is going to be the base coat for his flesh. Just going to make sure that we get it on nice and neat. So the idea is just to get it done pretty quickly with the slap chop method, but I will be hopefully doing some further highlights and other things to this model as well. With it being such a nice big chunky model, I thought I'd give him a little bit more attention. So as you can see, it's taken pretty well to the model already. But I'll get on with the rest of it and we'll come back for the second colour. So that's his skin done, and you can see I've picked out his hands and his chest and whatnot. I've also picked out the piece of leather on his back, which will come back and we'll sort of highlight that up a little bit later. But now I'm going to concentrate on these leather panels. I'm going to be using wild wood for that. Because I'll be using a different wood, different brown for the woodwork and straps and things, but I'm going to use wild wood for these leather panels. This is a nice warm brown. So I'm going to crack on, get this colour done, and then we'll be back to see the next colour. Okay, so with the wildwood on, his cloak is kind of covered now. It comes around the front there as well. So the other brown that we're going to use is going to be the hardened leather from Army Speed Painter. And we're going to use that for all the woodwork and the smaller straps. Okay, so find a place on my palette. There we go. And we're just going to crack on with the woodwork. You see, this is a much lighter brown, so it's going to give us a lot of contrast between the two shades. Okay, and you can see how that's kind of, this is kind of more of an orangey brown, isn't it, really? Or at least it is in my mind. Okay, I think that's better for wood, whereas the other is better for leather. Okay, so I'm going to crack on with that, and we'll be back with the next colour. Okay, so with the brown on the straps and on the woodwork, we can move on to the next colour, which I'm probably going to crack out the, what's it called, pallid bone, and we're going to be using that sort of on the tusks. These ones at the front here as well, and obviously all the sort of strap work as well. We're going to get that out, and that should make quite a big difference. Okay. This is one of those colours which sometimes doesn't take brilliantly. So we shall see how this goes. Let's start with this bit of strap work here. Okay. Yeah, that seems to be working all right. So far, so good. Yeah, I like that. Actually, it is a little bit more saturated in real life than it's picking up on the actual camera here. You're going to have to take my word for that, I'm afraid, but the colour is a bit stronger in real life. Okay. Right, so there's quite a bit to do with this colour, so I'm going to crack on and I'll show you what it looks like when we get back. Okay, so with the bone done, it looks like I'm going to have to do these straps at the top here in a completely different colour. Well, didn't think that one through at all. I'm going to move on. I'm going to do his trousers now. I'm going to use a colour that I don't often use, and I'm going to be using, what is it? Sorry, High Lord Blue. Blue is certainly a colour that I don't use very often, but I'm sick of painting red. I've been doing a lot of bloodthirsters and corn demons, so I think I'd try something a little bit different. And blue is different. Yeah, that looks quite good. Refocusing. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to do this little bottle on, no I can't because it coincides with these trousers here, so right, the bottle's going to be red, so I can't get away from it. I'm going to be using red at some point. Alright, so I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get this colour knocked out and we'll come back when it's time to move on to the next one. Okay, so I did his pants and I did this little bit of cloth here on this arm guard. We're now going to get his boots. There's a little bit of boot showing on the model, so we're going to crack on and get his boots done. We're going to do that in Black Legion. I'm probably going to do his hair in this colour as well. So knock out a couple of things all in one go. Let's crack on. So yeah, it's just picking out the boot here, and it is just this little bit here, because the rest of it's all steel or metal. And then you've got the foot guard as well, the shin guard, sorry. So there's not a lot for this one on for this colour at all. Okay, that about covers that one. And again, it's just a case of in the back up to here, bring it round. We'll do this section here as well. Okay, so I'll crack on, do the rest. There's not a lot to do on the black, so I'll be back very, very soon. Okay, so with the black done on his beard, a little bit of hair that he's got on the back there, and his boots, we're going to move on to Gravelord Grey, which is another army painter colour. And we're going to use this for the stone, so this will be for his hammer and for the stone that is stood on as well. And so I'll just show you where we're going here. So it'll be this piece of rock underneath his foot, just here. we're also going to do the stone parts of the hammer as well. In fact, probably just blast most of this in, because we're going to be metallicing over it anyway, so we'll be able to correct any mistakes with the metallics. So that's that section. Okay, so I'll just here. Just feather it off, and then this section here, because we're going to go around with the metallics, and the metallics cover really well anyway, so they'll cover up any little mistakes that we make at this stage. Okay, not that we shouldn't always try and be careful, but it's not always possible. Sometimes it's just easy to get the colour down and correct the mistakes afterwards. Okay, alright, so I'm going to neaten all that up and I'll be back in a few. So we've got the grey down on the stonework. I also used it for the strapping at the top, where it was coinciding with the bone, and I think that contrast looks quite nice. I quite like how where I did paint the bone, it's gone a sort of browny, dirty brown colour. That's quite a nice effect that I wasn't expecting, but nice. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna use red now. I kind of only think I'm going to be doing this bottle on his back here in the blood red. I can't think of anything else that I want to do in red at the moment, but yeah, so just going to get down a little bit of the blood red army painter paint again. I just need a little drop of that, don't we? And all we're going to do is apply it to this bottle. That is pretty much all we're going to do with that. Okay, right. So next stage, we're going to move on to the metallics. Now I'm going to start with Games Workshop on Iron Warriors. This is sort of my go-to metallic paint. So we're going to go straight in with this. Now at this stage I'm just going to try and get a coat on as much of the metal as possible, not really looking at the different aspects, because there's going to be gold, I'm going to get the copper out, I'm going to possibly look at some coloured, I've got some coloured metallics that I got from Army Painter, and I'm probably going to be using one or two of them as well. But at the minute it's just a case of trying to get everything that is metallic. I'm going to give it a coat of the Iron Warriors. Now obviously at this stage, if you don't want to cover everything in the silver, that's absolutely fine. Do what you do, but I think that the silver gives everything a decent base coat, especially using the slap shot method. We want this, I like a solid base coat for my metallics, and Iron Warriors is quite a good starting point. Anyway, there is a lot of metallics to do, so I am going to crack on with that. and I'll be back once everything's painted. See you in a few. Okay, so with all the silver down, you can see that pretty much everything is now base coated. There's just a couple of little bits that haven't been. And we'll look at the head as well. Okay, so there's a few details that I want to pick out in a slightly different colour. And I'm going to be using Rune Lord Brass, which again is a Citadel colour. And I'm just going to pick out things like this little bit here. Going to pick that out there in the brass. And it's just a case of creating something different. I don't think gold is going to be a particularly good colour. It's not that I'm not going to use gold. There are going to be bits of gold on the model. But these sort of things, I think brass is probably a better colour to use to break up the silvers. There's also, where was it? Little coin down here, which I'm going to pick out in brass. And this horn type thing. So that's going to be brass as well. This there. Not entirely sure what that is really, but it's that. This piece of artwork here, I'm going to pick out all these raised edges in the brass. Again, we'll be putting a wash on this, so that's going to hopefully cover in between the gaps. We're just being as neat as you can at this point, but we'll go around and we'll do that as well. Bits of detail on here, just to break up and make this a little bit brighter, because the grey that we've used is quite dark. Where was the other bit? There it is. There's a little ruin or something on here. Just going to pick this out as well. Okay, and just anywhere where you think it'll break it up nicely and just separate everything. I'm going to do the outside trim of this sort of belly plate as well. So all of this as well, that's all going to be brass. And I think there was there's a little bit here on his shoulder pad. I'm going to do this in the brass as well. Again, just to break it all up. And because gold, I don't think that works well with the kind of rough and ready way that this culture comes across. Now these bits on the back here, I'm going to do weird and wonderful colours. Let's still get this one here. We've got I've got some army painter colours. If you watched the video where I did the what are they, hobgrots, the banner, I used all sorts of different metallics on the icon, on the metal parts of the banner, and that's kind of what I'm planning on doing on the back of this model as well. And I think these little dangly bits as well, these are going to be nice colours as well. Okay, and then there's that bit there, that bit here. These could all go reverse this one, just there, and then flip it over and touch in these bits. There we go. So that breaks his spear up, gives that a bit of definition. Okay, so I'm going to go around and finish these bits that I've started, and then we'll come back and we'll look at the other colours. Okay, so I went ahead and did the brass bits, and I've also done a couple of gold bits as well. So I did the sword hilt, the face here. What else did I do? Oh, I actually went ahead and did this in gold because the brass just wasn't standing out enough, so I went ahead and did that in gold. Okay, so what I didn't do is the bits on his helmet here. I've just noticed, but okay, we'll fix that. We'll do something else. So I've got a selection of colours here that I'm going to try, and it's the Army Painter metallic paints. I've got gemstone. I'm going to use Evil Chrome, Azure Magic, Night Scales, and Royal Purple. Okay, and what I'm going to use these for is sort of the little trinkets that are hanging down here, and then on his back, the same thing, just there. Okay, now I quite like these. Oh, there's also this one up here on his spear that I'm going to plan on using. The gemstone I'm also going to colour in the top of the sword hilt as well. So just that gemstone there. Okay, so what shall we do? I'm going to use Evil Chrome on his helmet for the bits that I missed there. Let's do the gemstone first. So a little splosh of this. So obviously these are not contrast paints, they're just nice metallic paints. Okay, just whack a bit of that in. Okay, so all we're going to do here, we're just going to... I'm not sure how well this is going to pick up metallic wise on the camera. But we'll just get that painted like so. Okay, so yeah, you can kind of see that's metallic, eh? Yeah. All right. So that's that one. What else we're using? We're going to use the. See what? I ain't used the purple yet. I don't think I used the purple yet. So let's have a look what this one. Actually, it doesn't look like I've used it. That looks like a complete fresh bottle. What shall we use? This is just having a bit of fun using what paints I've got. Let's do this bit up here in the purple. Yeah, it stands out, doesn't it? Okay, make sure we catch that edge. Just there. Yeah, that's draws a bit of attention, doesn't it? And I'm going to do this one down here in the purple as well. Okay. I think so, just kind of a bit of splash of colour. Now the Azure Magic, I know for a fact I haven't used that one. I think this kind of metallic colour would work well with Lizardmen. I'm thinking of doing a few Lizardmen, especially with the new models just coming out. So I was thinking of actually doing a few. That's not really. I was thinking of doing a few Lizardmen. I've never done one. This is the first ogre I've ever painted actually, and I've never done a Lizardman either. So I was looking to maybe get one of those packs and see what that's like. So I'm going to do maybe one or two other coins on the back of this. Yeah, I'm not liking this consistency. Give me a second. I think this is separated a bit too much, but we'll see. Okay, so let's do this bottom coin here. Oh, little. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah. Okay, that's better. That's better. Maybe didn't mix it enough, possibly. Okay, well, it's not brilliant, but it stands out, doesn't it? I have to give that a really good shake before I use that next time. Now the Night Scales is like a metallic black, and I quite like this one. My paints have been stood for quite some time. I haven't actually done any painting for a very long time, so they're requiring a really good shake-up. Right, let's get... Yeah, so I quite like the metallic black. Now, let's do this one here. There we go. Yeah. It's quite a nice colour. And then I'm going to do the Evil Chrome on the other bits that are left. Now the Evil Chrome's more of a sort of bronzy type colour, really. I mean, you can. It's actually chrome to me is very, very bright, vivid silver, and this certainly isn't silver. So I don't know whether they've just misunderstood what chrome is or something, but it's definitely not the chrome that I would imagine chrome to be. I'm just going to do this one. It's somewhere between the gold and the brass that we've used. In fact, it's probably that close to the brass that you're probably not going to notice much of a difference anyway, but I just like using these metallic colours. I haven't used them all yet. And then I'll do this other Another little trinkety type thing at the front here. See, you can't tell much of a difference. In fact, there we go, brighten that up a little bit. Alright. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the ones on the side of his face in this crown as well, because it's hardly worth getting him brass back out to do it, because it is that similar. Okay, and there we are. Okay, so now I'm going to give that a few seconds to dry, and then off camera I'll give all of the metallics a Nuln wash, and then we'll go to the final stage, which is kind of just taking everything to the next level, the next step. All right, so I'll do all that off camera and we're back before we start doing the next steps.